Good evening, everybody, and hello, Mr. Srikant Kanoi. How are you doing?
Hi, Mr. Irwin. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much.
Superb. Seems that we're getting a nice crowd coming in slowly. And Shivangi, you need to start because we are at 7:15 now, and we
Uh,
have a few people coming in.
okay, I was waiting for our other speaker, Robert, to join us.
But that's okay. While he does join us, as we have people coming into the room, I think we should start.
Okay. Hi and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining in. And I can see quite a few people here, and I'm really excited to be here today and doing this session. Um, Before starting, let me tell you all that we will be recording this session, and the listeners, you will be getting the chance to speak and ask questions. At any point in time, if you wish to come and speak, ask a question, or want to be a part of the discussion, make a comment, please raise your hand, and a moderator, Rohan, will let you in. And I will call out your name when it's your turn to speak. If you have any comments, please keep it short to 15 seconds. And if you want to ask any questions, please specify who the question is directed to before you ask it. As you know, this is Clubhouse. It's an only audio-based platform. So let's try not to talk over each other. Let's talk one at a time for the smooth flow of this event. And if you're a speaker and you want to talk and some other person is talking, you just need to tap on your mute and unmute button 3 to 4 times, and I will know that you want to speak, and I will call out your name when it's your turn. Uh, so let's start, and let me start by introducing myself. My name is Shivangi Chhabra, and I am from Indore, which is in India, and it's a very beautiful city. I'm a part of Espousal, and we're doing Espousal, the third version, which is going to be an international version, and we're obviously very excited. There are lots of people, lots of speakers, going to be coming from USA, from Mexico, Malaysia, Thailand, UK, and of course Sri Lanka. And as I just mentioned, Espousal is coming up, and Clubhouse being a new and a very trending platform, we thought we should do such chats and sessions here. And we will be doing this every Monday at 7:15 p.m. IST. There are going to be many new topics related to weddings, a lot of national and international speakers too. So I request anyone who wants to be a part of it, who wants to listen to it, wants to learn more about it, lock your dates and set your time for every Monday at 7:15 p.m. IST, because it's going to get exciting. Right. Um, we also have here the team behind Espousal, Arvind, Vivek, and Rohan. And they're the reason behind this, and they're the masterminds behind this entire session. Um, Today we're going to be talking about flowers and decors in wedding, and we have two experts here with us. We have Srikant Kanoi from Bangalore, India, one of the most beautiful cities in India, and he's the CEO and partner at Ethereal Celebrations Management. We will also be having Robert Chaar from Lebanon, and he is the CEO of Casa del Flora. It's a pleasure having you here, Shrikant, and thank you for taking out the time and being here with us.
The pleasure is mine, Shivangi, and it's been so nice hearing you talk and giving a brief introduction about what Espousal is and about yourself and about Irwin. Uh,
Yes.
there's a lot more you can say about your entire team, but I can understand that there could be a paucity of time.
Yeah, we need to keep this till 30 minutes. It can go on till 40 minutes also. That's not a problem. But why don't you introduce yourself, Shrikant, to the audience and let them know a little bit about you before we start?
So I come from a kind of a agriculture industry family into tea, and we started one of the first floriculture projects of India in Bangalore. That was way back in 1991, when people were just about waking up to greenhouse floriculture in India. And from there on, from production of flowers, we moved into wholesale. From wholesale, we moved into office and hotel supplies, etc. Then we moved into weddings and online delivery of flowers. We had a wedding franchises in a couple of places. We did a few international. We went to Kathmandu, etc. To start with, that is in the 2000, early 2000, and now we are full time into weddings. Apart from being a bespoke floral designer and a venue influencer, that's about it.
Okay, wow. And you're from Bangalore, and they're into flowers and flowers and decor, and they do a lot of weddings. And I've seen your Instagram page; it's beautiful what you do and what you create for people, and you make their weddings into such special occasions that they remember it for their lifetime. So, flowers and decors, what a beautiful topic that we have here. And I can actually smell these things happening around me right now, especially in our country. There's so many uses, and of course, in weddings, there are so many uses of flowers, particularly. Shrikant, why don't you tell us how important are flowers in weddings?
Flowers are a key component of any wedding. They add the extra color, the texture, the feeling to your special day. And flowers are important part of creating the feeling or selling the mood for your wedding with the beauty, the color, the elegance and style. It is like, just as the bride's wedding dress greatly impacts the feeling and style of the wedding, so do the flower arrangements. If I want to say it in another way, it was like what an icing is on the cake, or let me go a step further. Uh, what jewelry is on the bride, that's the kind of an impact flowers have on a wedding. Imagine walking into a hall, which is a wedding, and you don't have any flowers around. It's not that it doesn't happen, it does happen. It just doesn't create that mood. It's like a bride sitting in that mandap or in the reception without a bridal makeup or without the adornment of jewelry and the lehenga. You still have the couple out there, but something is missing. So to create that look, to create that charm, to create that joy, to bring in that fervor, everything, that excitement, you need the flowers are an integral part of weddings in India and across the world. You can't even have a church wedding without flowers. It's an important. You can't have a nikah without flowers. So flowers is there in each and every religion across the world. Weddings and flowers, they just go hand in hand.
Right, absolutely right. And that was so insightful. And I'm sure we all are learning so much by listening to you. You're an expert in this field, and we're thankful that you. Uh, uh-huh. So, another question was since weddings have become so intimate past 18 months, the quantity of flowers, I presume, has diminished in weddings. What do you think about it? Is that true? Would you like to elaborate?
Yes, the flower quantum has reduced to a certain extent in certain set of weddings, but then flowers have also increased, whether you want to believe it or not, in a lot of weddings. The reasons which you may ask you, how is that possible when people have been talking about reduced pricing, reduced budgets? Yes, the number of packs has come down. The number of packs, which used to be 300, 500, 1000, 2000, has come down to 50, 100. But because of the spacing issues in a hotel, you have a 2000 or a 3000 or a 4000 square feet hall, which normally accommodates 300 to 500 people, now accommodating 50. Now imagine you walk into a hall which is kind of empty. Earlier, people would fill up the hall. Now we need flowers also to do that. A stage which would look perfectly fine, a stage of 24 by 16, which would look perfectly fine in a hall filled with people, suddenly starts looking small when the hall is empty, number of people are less. You need a bigger stage to fill up the hall. You need more number of round tables to fill in the space. And all this kind of, you start requiring more flowers to fill in the space. And people have been asking me, everyone is talking about reduced budgets. Where is the money coming from? Well, then one of the most important aspect is food. The logistic. If a wedding was earlier planned for a 300 or a 500 guest, and now because of the lockdown limitation is 50 or 100 guests, the brides or the groom's parents have a lot of money saved up, be it in the travel, logistics, rooms. The food, which was earlier for 300 to 500 packs into 3 days, into 3 meals, now 50 to 100 packs. So he's saving almost like 60 to 70% of the entire budget on the food. And now weddings in this 1.5 years has also become hybrid. Earlier, if a cousin or a friend was not being able to make it from New York or from Melbourne, he just missed out on the wedding. But now, with only 50 people in the room, most of the weddings are looking at a hybrid kind of a situation wherein they want the wedding to be telecast to the entire family members across the world. And you have people coming to this wedding on Zoom or any through any media, Facebook, etc., dressed to the hilt for the occasion. And when that happens, the place has to look beautiful. And for the place to look beautiful, the flowers needs to be there. So I understand the catering and all, the budgets have come down, but where flowers are concerned, where the bridal dress and the groom wear is concerned, where the photography is concerned, where the bridal makeup is concerned, these are the few areas where the requirement has just gone up. And I will share a few interesting statistics down the line as to how people may feel. I can tell you now how people will felt that the prices of the flowers would have gone down during these 18 months. I've been in this industry for 30 plus years. I've been in this industry as a grower, as a wholesaler. Uh, we were instrumental in starting the International Flower Auction Bangalore out here. Uh, I also happen to be a member of the India Florist Association and India Floriculture Association. The So I know the pulse of the flowers and the market. 28th of October last year was a red letter day where the flower industry was concerned. If we were buying Oriental lilies at on an average of 600 rupees a bunch, on that particular day, the prices touched 1600 rupees a bunch, and flowers were not available in the wholesale market. If
Geez, Srikant, I'm sorry, I'm going to butt in over here.
please, please,
Uh, I mean, this is very, very interesting statistics, and I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy that. And we want to get a little deeper into this, Srikant, as we move on. But quickly, I would like to say hello to Robert Chaar. Shivangi, over to you.
Yeah. Hi, Robert. So we have Robert here, who is our other speaker, and he's from Lebanon, Beirut. He is the CEO of Casa del Flora. Robert, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll start with the discussion.
Hello.
Hi, Robert.
hi Robert.
Hi. Hi. Hope you're doing well. I'm Robert Chaar, CEO of Casa del Flora. We do usually floral decoration and big installation for royal weddings in the Middle East. So, and it's my pleasure to be here between you. Casa del Flora was established in 2005, and since 2005, we are growing year by year. And we love so much flowers and we work with flowers. So this is more about us.
Okay. We were talking about that since weddings have become so intimate in the past 18 months, the quantity of flowers has reduced. And so, what are your thoughts about that?
The problem, not the problem, we work usually in many markets. So there is big difference between the market in Lebanon and the market in GCC, in Gulf area, where in Dubai, in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia. So in Lebanon, and because of the COVID, the government give a lot of restrictions. So the number of guests normally decreased. So instead of doing weddings of 300 or 500 guests, it is a little bit, it's more or less than 50 or 80 guests maximum. So normally the number of flowers was reduced as centerpieces, but usually we focus so much on the ceilings, on the walls, on the entrances. So these spaces need to be decorated even if we have small number of guests. In GCC area, in Gulf area, like in Qatar, the government also reduced the number of guests till 80% maximum in a ballroom, and even sometimes when it was high, the number of cases, it was gone to into 20%. So normally the client or the couples don't want to spend a big amount of money on floral decoration or on their weddings to only do it for 20%. And as you know, our work is it's a I don't know how it's a show off. It's a you have to do a masterpiece. They every couple try to make the best for themselves to show it to their friends, to their families. So for sure, the number of flowers and the quantity reduced very much, and also the prices was very high because there was not so much demand on the flowers, and the shipping and everything, all the cost was increasing.
Yeah, right. I I wonder how people were actually affording that. Moving on, Srikant sir, remember you talking about this in a live that you did with Arvind on an Insta page, where you spoke about the cost repercussions of the pandemic on flowers.
But
Could
Shivangi, I'm going to interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm known for that. So, Robert said something very interesting about the show off factor that happens in the GCC and other countries. Shrikant, I would like to hear your comment on this. In our Indian weddings, is it the show off factor, why people put flowers, or what are the other reasons why we use so many flowers in our weddings?
Show factor is undoubtedly there. You have people who have the money to spend. They need flowers which are exotic. They need flowers which are expensive. They need flowers which are pricey. They are making a statement. It's like I can have a wedding in a four-star hotel, but I'm choosing a seven-star hotel because I want to make a statement. So everything which I'm using in the wedding has to be of the top end standard. And that's the reason why flowers, like your clothes, like the hotel, like the vehicles which you are choosing, it has become a status symbol. There's no two doubts about it, Albert.
So, Robert, what we are seeing here essentially is that the wedding, the flowers, and all of this is more for the public and less for the bride and groom. It's more to do with telling the people, making a fashion statement or a style statement, as the case may be. Is that right, Robert?
Yes, as you know, in each wedding, the bride, we start like the main star of the wedding is the bride. So she cares first of all of her dress, then the second, and first of all, the main effect or the main attraction is the decoration, because it's the first impression that any guest when they enter to the ballroom or to any venue, the first impression is when they look to the decoration, the floral installation. And I think the two biggest market in the world about weddings and floral decoration is India and GCC in Gulf area. These two areas, they care so much about decoration. They care so much about luxury, about how putting a lot of decoration in a right way. Uh, they want to show it to their guests in the end.
This is a brand new perspective to the whole game, as far as I'm concerned. But back to you, Shivangi. Sorry.
Thank you.
Arvind, if I may say so again out here, the bride is equally interested in the flowers. For her, as Robert pointed out, for her, it is very important that the venue looks very beautiful. And so, in fact, nowadays, earlier, even 5 years back, the parents were talking, but now the brides are talking to us directly. And for them, the flowers are very important. They are choosing the color, they're choosing the type of the flowers. And there are times when the parents don't want the top end flowers, but the bride, she wants the flowers.
Right, right. Um, what we were talking about before this was the cost repercussions of the pandemic on flowers. Shrikant, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yes, I had already started on telling you that in the last 32 years, this is the first time I'm seeing such high value of flowers. A couple of things which make sense to me was because of the earlier few months wherein most of the growers had tremendous loss. They had prepared themselves for weddings in April, May, which was went out without anything happening. Then the next season of July, August, June, July also went down the drain because weddings were not happening. A lot of growers probably reduced their planting. And when the market opened in the month of November, December, there was October, November, December, there was shortage of flowers in the market. That is the only reason why we are seeing such high prices, which I have not really seen in this last 30 plus years. And I've told you, I've really been associated with this industry in all levels. And even today, the Ashad is going on. Ashad is the time when the season when nothing auspicious is supposed to have happen. Even then, the Oriental lilies are ruling at 800 rupees a bundle, and Uti carnations are ruling close to 150 to 200 rupees a bundle. I'm surprised at these prices. So undoubtedly, it's a demand and supply situation. The supply is much less than the demand, and November, December, I would I would warn and I would tell all the people who are getting married, please be ready for a high spending on the cost of the flowers. The cost of the flowers are going to skyrocket this coming season.
Oh my God. Really, there's so much to learn from all of you. Uh, I mean, we did not know about all this, and getting to know this from the two experts here means a lot. And
And
thank
may I
you.
say something else, Shivangi, out here, if you don't mind?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
This is the reason and why the artificial flowers have started coming into the market. Now, the cost of the artificial flowers are almost the same. The import cost from China would probably increase, and that would result in around 20% increase in the cost of the procurement of the flowers. But there could be a possibility, much against the wishes of many brides and grooms, but where the costs are concerned and you need to draw a balance somewhere or the other, there could be a possibility of people going in for artificial flowers, something which is not the norm, but slowly and steadily is catching up in a lot of places.
Uh,
And it's all to do with budgets, nothing else but the budgets.
Okay. Over to you, Robert. What do you think? I understand you come from Lebanon and you've done a lot of international weddings as well. And for the crowd here, a little bit about Robert, that he has done some very, very huge and lavish weddings for the royal families of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and other parts of UAE. So, Robert, is the situation similar in Lebanon to what Shrikant just spoke
Yes.
about?
Yes, as my friend Srikant said, when they are everybody, all the growers and wholesalers and all over the world was
Robert, you must tell
prepared.
them the story of the 50,000 roses you flew in.
Ah, about you, do you still remember this case? Huh? Yeah, as we now it's completely different. The people, the growers was preparing themselves for April and May, for like starting a season and all over the world for the weddings, and they get this COVID, and they started to throwing. We saw it on social media, throwing a big quantities of flowers, and they lost a lot. So they are trying now to regain again, or to come back, as we can say, to come back to the normal market. And also everything, all the prices are increasing, like because of importing. Now if you import by plane, the price of 1 kilo or 1 ton was before something, and now it's like at least 30% more. So the normal price of flowers, it increased like 30% or 35% in total. But the good things in our market where we work, all the people are very excited to make weddings, because before there are very a lot of restrictions, and it's not allowed to do weddings or events. And now people are really thirsty to make weddings and make big events. So I think when someone need to do something, he will not care a lot of about the budget. So, and we are starting to how to convince the client that the prices are increasing, and they are living in the end in this world. They know the cases and everything, not only in our industry, in all the industries, all the prices are increasing because all this like that I don't know, that times that we spent in this 1 year and a half or 2 years. Now everybody is thirsty to make weddings and events. So I'm sure they will spend a big amounts again on the quality, on the decoration, on the big installation. Because I know that because we are getting a lot of calls or required from India, from Gulf area, from Lebanon. So I think things will go back to normal and even better, but step by step. It needs a little bit time.
That is,
Superb.
yeah. Uh,
Uh, Quickly, I noticed that we have an interesting person in the room. We have Andrea Jorikova. I'm not able to understand from where, but Andrea, if you would like to come up and share some of your experiences, it would be really our pleasure. Back to you, Shivangi.
Yeah. Yes, Andrea, if you would like to come, and if anyone wants to come up and ask any questions, please raise your hand. We have Prageet here. Prageet, would you like to uh, give your input on this topic? Um, Moving on into the something exciting. Uh, let's talk about the trends. Okay, Andrea is here. Andrea, would you like to speak?
Introduce.
Introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to say hi to Robert because we know Robert from Lebanon. He's a great leader as well as a great Flora designer. Uh, my name is Andra and I'm from Slovakia, and the situation regarding COVID is quite the same. Let's say the culture of weddings in Slovakia is not so let's say big and rich as in your countries because we are a small country, and also the history or maybe the culture of weddings is not so big, and our weddings are not about so many hundreds of people. So the situation is maybe not so bad and different as in the other cultures or maybe other parts of the world.
Um,
Hello, Andrea.
Hi, Robert.
Hi.
okay. Thank you, Andrea, for coming and speaking about your experience and what you think about this topic, flowers and decors. Moving on, let's talk about something more exciting. A few days back, I had this great opportunity to talk to Timo Bolte. He's from London, and I think most of you must be knowing him. We were discussing about trends in flowers and decors. So I would like to know from the two of you, what do you think about it? Coming to Robert, I would like to ask you, what are the new trends in flowers and decor or arrangements, as you would call it, from pre-lockdown till now?
Okay. Uh, Now, as you know, uh, in our work, we should always be creative. You should always we create trend. I think so. If we do a wedding and everybody see it and like it, so many like suppliers or many floral designers will do the same. So this will be the trend. If you do like one wedding with let's say greenery, all of it, and like many floral designer will follow you and follow the same or the spirit, like same inspiration. It will spread very fast on social media. It will be a trend. So this is the way. Usually we change our decoration. It's about the colors with the taste of the couples, how we do it. Like now we are preparing for a big wedding in Qatar. It will be on the 14th of October. Uh, I will post it later on Instagram. And we are very specialized in landscaping inside the wedding. So we do a lot of landscaping, and this trend is going a little bit more in many weddings. So we like installation, parametric architecture. So it's a combination between architecture and floral designer, and to create something really special.
Wow, absolutely. And Srikant, what do you think about it? What are the new trends in flowers and decors if you talk about India or internationally also?
See, what Robert has said is also catching up in India to a large extent. When you have a hall, which is a huge hall, and you have only 50 or 100 packs in it, you need earlier, if we were looking at basically the center stage as a reception or the mandapam to be taken care of, and the entrance and the aisle leading up to the room, now we have to also do up the entire hall and the passage in a bigger way because the number of people are less, and everyone across the world is now looking at the wedding. uh, you have cousins who have not been able to make it to the wedding, checking it out from their place, and you are sending across a statement. So the centerpieces, the way it is being done, the way foliages have started coming into, it's been there for some time. It's not that it's coming in now, but the importance of foliage has also increased. There are different kind of different colors of foliage which has come in. A lot of guests, as I told earlier, clients have now started looking for imported flowers, which was not really a trend in India, especially down south. We were looking at Delhi, Bombay, and Kolkata, the major metros, and Hyderabad, who were looking into the imported flowers. But now, even down south, people have woken up to imported flowers, and it is slowly and steadily making its mark felt in the wedding landscape.
Okay, wow. What an invigorating session. And I'm sure all of us learned a lot in this particular session. And it was a pleasure talking to the both of you, Srikant and Robert. And for everyone here listening in, Espousal is going to happen, and we're going to be here every Monday at 7:15 p.m. IST. So please tune in, and there are going to be a lot of new topics and a lot of new speakers. Once again, thank you so much, Srikant and Robert, for taking out the time and doing this. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will see you again next Monday, same time. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Thank
Shivangi.
you.
Thank you,
Robert.
Thank you so
Naveen.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
much.
Robert.
Thank
Srikant.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
everyone. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye.